Wow. That was
It's like that one movie coming out, right? It's like 50
I'll open the stream. Hold on.
50 Shades of Garbage. That's exactly it.
Want to test your skills at
I know.
Hold on. I don't see you on my follows thingy right now. You didn't go live? Not according to this.
Told you.
You didn't change the title or nothing. Okay.
Why? What have we done wrong?
We didn't do nothing.
Aggressively wiggles eyebrows.
That's why I'm wearing my hat so you can't see it.
Damn,
Oh,
I
my
don't hear
cat was
voices in the stream.
Yeah, you should hear voices in the stream. It's talk, one of you.
Yeah.
Talk.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so welcome to the Digmcast. I'm Dimebot. I'm joined by Nico Kitwolf, Yellow Ranger,
Hello.
and the Lone Samurai. Person. Thing.
Who's alone?
He is alone. He's very alone, except for Harry Cat. Nah, my mic's on.
Yeah, your mic's on. Just checked it. Otherwise, I would have said something.
Yeah, the mic's on. Anyways, so we want to start off tonight talking about something absolutely disgusting. Like, just revolting. So,
McDonald's?
Mike and Lone,
Close.
you may not know about this. So, KFC has this thing called the Double Down, where they take the bread out of the whole fast food sandwich thing. And they replace the bread with 2 pieces of fried chicken and put bacon and cheese between it.
That sounds delicious.
So, apparently, in Korea, they now have a new one, which is and I need to put it up for everybody,
KFC Korea Fire Double Down.
and it looks... It's...
Like fire.
It's pretty scary. So
It looks like all the awesome.
It's 2 pieces of fried chicken with red breading, so that you know that it's hot. Why is that in the background? Seriously.
Because backgrounds.
Because backgrounds. I need to get rid of that somehow. I don't remember what screen region it is.
It's good you know what you're doing.
This is what
You
happens.
should label them.
I normally do. I didn't have time tonight because of all the other screw-ups.
Good job.
Fuck you.
It's
Anyways,
like he's been doing this for years, isn't it, guys?
there it is. Oh, wow. It's still labeled from last week, and it says YouTube.
Rip. Rip.
Good job.
We are off to a rocket start tonight.
Yeah.
So full of wind tonight.
So, anyways, I like how they've made the breading red, so you know it's hot. And it's got chili sauce, a slice of tomato, and a slice of cheese. It costs $4.37, and I feel sick looking at it. So, Mike, they don't really serve stuff like this in Germany that I remember. Would you eat that?
I would at least try it, but okay.
It's American food. You shouldn't. You'll have damage.
That's not American. Technically, this is
Korean.
Ranger?
Would I eat that? That would depend on my level of drunk.
I like that answer.
Yeah, what level of drunk, though? Like rosé wine or tequila drunk?
Closer to tequila, where you're just like, fuck, I'm hungry, man. And then
So
somebody's
full
like,
on-
here you go.
Full on 4
it's
a.m.
like,
in the morning kebab job, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, chat. We'll let you guys vote. So there you go. There's a straw poll for you.
Oh my god, it's
That's fine. I'm not interested in voting. That's fine. Don't worry about asking me.
Yeah, he didn't.
You're on
No,
the
that's-
you're a host of the show, you jackass. What would would you eat it or not?
No.
Fair enough. I would just to try it. Nico?
I would eat it because I like spicy food and like the feeling of hot health coming through my asshole.
Wow. The straw poll is overwhelmingly no, with 100% votes at no.
It is. It is. GG, chat. Oh,
Echo, you're so beautiful.
GG, Nico.
Thank you! No one calls me beautiful.
I think we could safely get rid of that card. I like this. I like the feel of hot hell coming through my asshole. Nico Kit Wolf 2015.
Somebody needs to put that on the Tumblr, like, now.
That's February's quote right there.
I'm fucking dying.
Mike, it's okay, breathe.
Don't
You
say
know,
this
Neko.
last-
You've
Don't
heard
you
these
say-
things that she says
Oh
before.
my god.
It's okay. Just inhale.
I know, but it came from what?
We've
From
killed
nowhere.
Mike.
What the fuck? This is like a serious mode, and then it just went somewhere, and it just didn't come back. Oh.
Yeah.
Mike just
I'm
lost it.
fucking done.
Confirmed. I'm marking it 2:10 at
Oh.
7:43 p.m. EST. Mike lost it.
Oh god, I have tears in my eyes. What the fuck? Neko, you killed me.
Well,
Ah.
everybody check what I just put
Finish
between the between
Mike
Ranger
down,
and
Mike
Mike's
down.
windows.
I have
You
to
spelled
wait.
coming
I
wrong.
have to wait.
No, I didn't. Oh, Ranger. Ranger.
Lol.
Bad Ranger.
All right. The next topic we have up tonight is actually what I want to spend a little bit of time on because it's actually kind of
An actual topic.
an actual topic. Yes. So games that are episodic. So Nico proposed this particular topic, and I think it's a very valid one because if you think back, and she's given some great examples, everything Telltale Games makes, Dot Hack, Final Fantasy 13, please God stop Square Enix, please God stop Square Enix, please God stop Square Enix.
I forget, did I write that or is that what you said?
That's what I said.
No, hold on a second.
Okay.
No, those don't count.
Yeah, it is an episodic game.
It is. What else is episodic? What was
Life
the...
is Strange.
Life
a
is
new
Strange is episodic, which I've seen some very interesting stuff on Life is Strange this week. It's getting very mixed reactions. I'm not going to pass judgment because I haven't tried it yet. But it's getting extremely mixed reactions, which I find interesting. Because the concept of the game seems interesting, but Dot Hack was... We haven't seen anything as extreme as Dot Hack since it was out, because Dot Hack was ridiculous.
Dot Hack was awesome.
It was a great game, but think about it. It literally had 15 hours of story gameplay with a full price of $50 to $60.
Yeah.
And
So
it's a great game series, but rare. You can't find it.
Telltale, I think, if you're going to make an argument for doing episodic releases right, would anybody disagree that Telltale at least is got a formula that seems to work with the way they've done
Yeah.
The
they fully
Walking
bang on.
Dead, and they're doing Borderlands now? I've heard a lot of people
Game of
say
Thrones.
that Game of Thrones can be very off-putting because like all of the Game of Thrones elements are there, but then the graphic style is so just freaking weird.
It's a comic-y still.
I've actually
style.
not seen that yet.
It's typical Telltale style, so it kind of, but it's more washed out. It's very weird
Yeah.
looking to me. And the other one that there is, Telltale did Wolf Among Us, right?
Yep.
And Wolf Among Us is just supposed to be amazing. I know Birdie absolutely loves Wolf Among Us. Like he just kills those games every time a new episode's out. So I think Telltale does it right episodically, but there's also one overarching thing with every Telltale game.
You have to wait.
Well, but all of them play extremely similar.
Yeah.
Right, but I think the point of the Telltale is the story. So the gameplay is really
Which
similar.
Sort of, yeah.
But-
I think like as the name suggests, it's about the tale. It's
Yeah.
about telling the tale. The mechanics of the game are usually probably just straight the same.
I think they
So-
did it. I think they did it right in the thought process of the story is always different, but you still have the familiarity of knowing what you're doing. right from the start.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you've ever played a Telltale game before, you know how it works. You don't have to refigure out how it works, and you can really focus on the story, which is obviously the primary function of the game.
Yeah. And Nico kind of left out one of the biggest series that has done the episodic thing, and it's a series that I personally don't like, but Ranger does, which is Mass Effect.
Oh, Mass Effect. Well, I don't know if you can really say it's episodic because you would imply the games would be closer together.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
saying
considering
Dragon Age
Mass
1, 2, 3, and 4.
It's more of it's a series. I don't know if I would call it episodic because for me,
given the way that your choices from game to game tie the games together, I would absolutely call that episodic.
And then you also want to call Dragon Age episodic? I don't think that's really how it works.
In fact, actually, I would say
wouldn't-
Dragon Age is more episodic than Mass Effect.
Actually, I would disagree with that mostly because it's different people for different people.
Yeah.
Well, Mass Effect concentrates on Commander Shepard.
Until Mass Effect 4, which
I wouldn't say Mass Effect would
are
be
they
episodic.
actually gonna make that?
Yeah, they're gonna make a Mass Effect 4, and Shepard has nothing to do with it because presumably you died in the third one. Spoilers.
No, he died in the second one. He was a clone in the third one.
Actually, technically, the third one is that it's all just this blurred bullshit, and the Renegade ending is the best ending because technically he survives.
It's the only one that you can survive in.
Yeah.
More power to them if they're going to make another one. I'm not even going to look at trailers or information for it because I don't care.
They're like, it's still the universe you know and love with all the stuff at dot dot dot. It's like, right, but you said that before and then you fucked up Mass Effect 2 and 3.
I want a Krogan player.
Because BioWare has EA's finger stuck right up its behind.
I will say, we were talking about this one day, I think it was on a stream, or it might have been in the Sanitarium staff chat, but I finally was able to put my finger on why I can't deal with Mass Effect. And it's because it's a science fiction universe with the worst science fiction writing ever. Like, nothing in that game makes sense from a sci-fi perspective at all.
Well, you know what doesn't make sense is how they tried to explain the ending of Mass Effect 3. I was okay with the universe until Mass Effect 3 ended.
That's a whole other discussion because I've read the story synopsises and I know why people were pissed about the ending, but that's a topic for another show. But anyways,
the fact that I know, but just the fact that they got so many complaints that they did actually change and edit the ending might tell you something.
Yeah, it tells you that the team let their artistic integrity go to make more money by selling the game and appeasing the fans.
Well,
I'm sure EA ripped up their butts, but yeah.
I want to have this discussion, but I want to do it when we can devote a lot of time to it, which we can't do now.
Yeah.
So
should I make a card?
Comes down to a very simple point. EA fucked them.
Stick that over in the. Don't put it in proposed topics. Well, yeah, put it there for now, but when we finish the show, put it in finalized for the next show, because I want to have that discussion with all of us.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to kind of the point, though. Nico, what she put in here was, everybody's doing something episodic. Why can't you just finish the game and we can play the full product instead of making us cry? I think in Telltale's case, there's an argument to be made for they put a lot of choices and a lot of work into each episode. So if we waited until they finished all of them, we'd be waiting like Duke Nukem Forever style. Now, with that
wasn't worth the wait, though.
With some other studios, I'd say that some other studios are doing the cash-in thing. Like, oh, this is the trend, let's make some money off it.
Yeah.
Can I have a counter argument?
Yeah.
Remember that they were doing two different games of Wolves once, The Wolf Among Us and The Walking Dead season 2.
Yeah.
They did that bi-weekly between them. So why couldn't they concentrate on one game, get it out monthly instead of bi-monthly? Is it because they had two different teams?
Well,
usually two different teams.
Now, Wolf Among Us came first, so obviously they put it down there. But these games are meant to be released.
Wasn't Walking Dead first?
Walking Dead was first.
It was.
Yeah, Walking Dead
Sorry,
season 1 was
my
first.
bad. No, but that's the thing. They've released it like a TV show, and there is enough gameplay for watching an entire TV show as well. Maybe a little bit more gameplay than there is in a TV show.
Yeah, I do like I said, the Telltale is doing it right because they give you enough gameplay for the price that you pay for
Yes.
season.
Zero just made that point with the number for us in chat.
Yeah.
Telltale game, all 5 episodes, usually $30. That is completely acceptable.
Yeah, especially with the content that you get, and then a lot of the time they'll leave you with some sort of cliffhanger or a reason to look at the next one. They always show you what's coming, and I would argue for episodic gameplay because it keeps you interested, it keeps you coming back. Instead of a game you play through once and then put down and never touch again.
And I would definitely agree with that, Ranger. And I would also add a point with the way Telltale makes them is that they've added a reason for you to go back and play your current episode again before the other one comes out, because the way the games are structured, and it is something I'll give the old BioWare games like KOTOR and that their proper Jade Empire their proper due there, and Dragon Age. Everything changes so much depending on the decisions you make. So.
And I like the in the Telltale structure, the fact, especially with like zombies, that there are certain characters that are alive and aren't alive, and depending on who's alive, you have certain perks or you don't have certain perks. So there's a lot of not only does the like who's there change and what they say change, but the different abilities you actually have at your disposal changes as well. So that could change everything, like a lot. So
and I will say this, I'm not a huge fan of the playstyle that Telltale has chosen for those games, as evidenced by the fact that I don't own any of them, but I will damn sure watch somebody play them on Twitch or YouTube.
Yep. And a friend
Cryolic is pretty good.
Me and a friend of mine played them together, and I recorded some of it for YouTube, but it died because nobody watched it anymore. But I think I need to redo it because I had quality problems. But the me and him were playing it, and he's like, "Oh, you let so and so survive," or "Oh, this person died in yours," and he's like, "Wow, I'm really very interested to see what happens in yours." So like maybe they don't want to play the whole 5 chapters again or whatever to figure out, like, to get the different people to be alive and not alive, but it's still really you want to go and see what other people have done, and it's such a valuable thing.
Mike?
The thing about the Telltale games, as far as I've seen, they are very much almost structured completely like a TV series. Like you have the whole build up and the cliffhanger of a TV series that makes you come back and rewatch because you've missed something, or you want to see a different version of it because it might change something. That's also probably that's also probably because of the sort of standardized gameplay in those games. Like there isn't really a whole lot of gameplay. It's essentially you choose what kind of action goes on your screen. That's pretty much all you more or less do. So watching a series on YouTube or like a let's play of a Telltale game is very much similar to somebody watching a TV series plus somebody's making the choices for you. Essentially, it's all it is. It's the same. It's a similar pleasure, but without having the ability to choose what path you're going on.
It's very good YouTube bait.
A little bit, yeah. I think kind of the consensus is we like the way that
Telltale
does it, and don't particularly care for. And I do agree with Nico about the way that Square is marketing the Final Fantasy 13 franchise as episodic, and they suck. Like those games are not good.
Blech.
So like there's a right way, and then Square's way is kind of the wrong way.
There are no Final Fantasies past Final Fantasy X.
12 was decent.
12
was decent.
So,
I would say 9. Sorry.
9 is a
10
good game.
only 10 had really good gameplay, but its
After 9
story and everything was kind of bleh. And I was just,
So speaking of like really cool RPGs,
and 8 is dead to me.
Shut up.
Okay, go on.
Codename Steam. So I've been playing the demo on my 3DS, and it's from the same studio that does the Fire Emblem games, and it's really cool.
it's like we saw Valkyria Chronicles. Let's kind of do that, but make it a little bit different. Kind of, maybe.
Kind
And
of.
in the end, they made the same game anyways.
It
So-
does look quite
But with
interesting.
Abraham Lincoln,
Yeah, so what's really interesting about it is that you are able to directly control your characters in a third-person world. You still have the same... So, Mike, if you think of Fire Emblem, you have a limited amount of spaces you can move. That's still there in Codename Steam, but you actually directly move the character. And positioning is very important, especially verticality, cover, managing your Steam. It's just a really interesting game. So far, the combat is fun, especially because in the demo, they give you a character who deals direct damage and can do Overwatch, where if you preserve enough of his steam and he's behind cover, if an enemy goes into his line of sight, he'll Overwatch and shoot them.
Oddly reminds me of XCOM right there.
Yeah,
but okay.
that's very XCOM. The other thing that's interesting is enemies do have glowy weak points, and you manually target when you fire. Like, you don't press an attack button and your character hits them. You aim the attack and you fire the shot. The second character they give you cannot Overwatch because he has a grenade launcher. And you can modify the firing arc, and it does AoE damage. It's capable of taking down cover. So, and that's just the two
That's
characters
pretty cool.
I've gotten to. It's very interesting. The art style really works well for the game. Everything's, I think, really bright and clear. Like, I've enjoyed my time with it so far. Yeah, it pops.
I might
does it look in
give it-
3D time? Did you check that?
I did check the 3D. The 3D actually works really well. And by the
Do the
time
words
the next...
pop up?
By the time the next show goes on the air, I'll be able to tell you exactly how it works with the new 3D on the new 3DS.
Yeah.
But
I will be able to.
I can't. Nico Kitwolf is poor Kitwolf.
you'll get one eventually. But I think
Lone Samurai is a poor samurai, especially as the dragon wants one.
I think
But
the
she's not getting one.
I think the thing that concerns me the most about the game right now is
Kitty, stop it. Sorry.
I want to play more of it to know how it's going to hold up over the long run. And I also want to know how gimmicky they're going to get with the amiibo stuff. Because the wave of Fire Emblem amiibos that are coming out are compatible with this game.
But it is the Intelligence Systems game, so I'm not sure if they're going to add Mario. Maybe they'll add costumes or abilities, but I think it's cool that you can run at an enemy with the Ike amiibo and just fucking punch him in the face
The thing that
with a
kind
sword.
of the thing that worries me about that, Nico, is the Fire Emblem characters are going to completely break the setting of this game. Like, they do
Yeah.
not belong in this game world.
Yeah, but it is
Yeah.
optional.
I know. It's just weird. But I mean, just the fact that like the character's like Tom Sawyer, and he's got like a big steam-powered, spring-loaded fist and a steam-loaded slingshot.
Tiger Lily.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln, President of the USA. Also, how weird
The
is
Cowardly Lion.
It's really weird that the demo starts out in London, but there's American flags everywhere.
Because
Clearly-
America,
Clearly,
America
it's
is
just
everywhere.
like Phoenix Wright's in California, even though they mentioned Japan. You don't think about it. You don't think about it. Oh, and the White House was
It's
there
an
too.
it's
Don't
an
forget
alternate
Yeah.
universe, guys.
It is.
Understand that.
Steve
It's just very
Howard,
interesting.
London.
Where what? America took over London?
I guess.
We don't
Even
know.
though the Queen was around, though. The
Ma-
Queen was around.
Maybe London is actually in the USA now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe
it's
there was
London,
no civil
like
war.
Montana or something.
Maybe it's just like as weird as Sunless Seas setting. So London's just relocated. Let's talk about, because we won't have a lot more to say about Codename Steam, but if you have a 3DS, keep your eye on it. Let's go ahead and talk about Dying Light. Who put this topic up here? Was that Ranger?
It's probably me.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Dying Light, if you don't know, is a game about zombie apocalypse. Woo! And, well, kind of. It's like zombie apocalypse in one city. And you play as... it's not a spoiler because I tell you in the beginning, but you play as an operative for the people who have isolated the city. And you're supposed to go in and find some research that was stolen from this company. And like get it out of there so that it doesn't get publicized, right? But the game, I find it to be absolutely fantastic. I have about 8 hours of footage I need to edit, but it's I find it to be very immersive. Um, and there was a review, I forget who it was from, but it was a review that said true freedom, and that was it. The game is amazing. It's almost, a lot of people want to link it to Dead Island a lot, but in Dead, like, get off me, kitty, Jesus Christ. In Dead Island, when you wanted to craft something or you wanted to alter something, you always had to find one of those benches. You can craft and or alter anything you want to, anywhere and time you want to. So that's really nice. Because I really used to hate having to find that part, that you needed to alter the thing, and then you had to run all the way back to where there's a table to do it. But there's parkour in the game, which is very smooth parkour. People, they say things like Mirror's Edge, but I want to say that I thought that Mirror's Edge was kind of floaty, like you just glided over everything and you hardly ever had to stop.
When I played it, it felt more like Titanfall parkour than.
I was gonna say,
right.
I did play it some, and I will say the parkour feels more grounded. It definitely doesn't.
It feels more alive. You don't feel like you're super powerful.
Let me go on. I will say it feels more grounded. It does not feel anywhere near as good as something like Mirror's Edge. It doesn't feel fluid at all to me. It's very stilted.
The thing about Mirror's Edge is it was purposely done floaty like that because it needed to be smooth. You needed to feel like you're not getting interrupted in the flow of running, because it's the main purpose of the game.
Yeah, right. And that's what I think the grounded part worked. Yes, Nico.
Why is Morgan Freeman lobotomizing this guy?
I don't know.
Well, one thing about this though is this week someone's actually already completed it without picking up a single weapon.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah,
I will say
cool.
I like the fact that the parkour is a little more grounded, because I think it works for the way the combat.
I think it works for the tone, because when I really like in a zombie apocalypse that you really feel like you're scrapping for everything.
Yeah.
So to be on a flow and then all of a sudden you're stopped and it's nighttime and you get rammed up the ass by a bunch of the infected that can jump as well,
Good warning.
Yeah. So I did get to play it on PS4 before Shelby took it back, because she had problems with Mirror's Edge, and she literally had to leave the room and go throw up from playing Dying Light. But she really wanted...
Well, motion sickness.
Yeah, she really wanted to like the game. Like, she liked the concept, she liked the gameplay. I kind of like the concept of the game. I think it's really neat to have it in open world. When I played it, and this is just my impressions from the 3 or 4 hours I spent with it, there was a few things that kind of irked me a little bit. One of them's kind of game-breaking for me, but I'm really tired of brown games. And I know there's some color in the game, but it's very brown, and that's personal on me. I'm just tired of brown games.
It's all sun-washed, isn't it? It's overly...
Beautiful game.
I'm sorry. When you get to the second half of the game, which me and my Anthony have recently gotten to, there is significantly more color. Yeah. It's not brown.
I've seen it. So, but okay. I will say the game is beautiful. The thing that really hurt me was the main character is just an asshat. Like, he is completely unlikable.
Oh.
And then the third thing that really bugged me from playing it on a console, and I don't understand this, why in the fuck is jump only bindable to R1 or R2?
Well, to be fair, that's not always true, and it's taken me a long time to actually adjust to that button being the jump button. But along the lines of jumping, I really like the structure, like how the jumping works in this game, where you look at it and you go there, because I feel like that's not how it's ever been before.
I could see that, but I will say I got killed more than a dozen times, and I didn't count, because the game defies everything I know about gaming, which is fine by putting the button in another spot, but it also follows the console rule of, and a lot of PC games rules of not letting me rebind controller buttons. So something that suits me. And I'm sure I would have gotten used to it in time, but it was really off-putting to me. But I think there's a lot of neat concepts in Dying Light.
Yeah.
They have patched it for the PC, so it actually runs right now, although they did cheat like hell to do that, but fine, whatever. For those that don't know, the game, the biggest culprit to frame rate was the draw distance. And according to all reports, it was no issue to play it on minimum frame distance, but it was like a 50 frame difference just by changing the slider by 20%.
Yeah.
So what they did to fix it is actually just... what they did to fix it was actually just reduce the maximum allowable draw distance the slider would set.
Yeah, and along the lines of it running and how the game runs, and I'll say this, I've only played it on console, so big surprise, but I really love how this is a kind of a new trend with games now. Sorry, I'm like watching it on the stream, and I'm like, God, I want to do that. It's so fun. But I love that there's like between areas, and only very rarely there's like no load screens.
Yeah,
you don't have to stop and get the thing to load. I think that's probably I want to say artifact, but then that word seems weird. I think that's showing the kind of new age, next generation console power can now run without having to stop and load.
I know what Mike is going to say. Go ahead, Mike.
To be fair, that's primarily due to advances in knowing how to handle game engines more efficiently and how to stream content. Because like previously, you had a level, and you had to know and load everything in advance to playing that level. Right. Nowadays, like what essentially Unreal 3 brought in was the Unreal Tournament 3 with the Unreal Engine, the Neo one. Is essentially they started streaming assets into the game while it's playing. The classical one being like the textures being like all blurry and then starting to load properly. Yeah, that was the beginning of that whole era of we're gonna load assets as they're being used.
It's also the reason that Gears of War 3 hardly ever loads anything once you get past the main menu.
And I mean, like.
No, Unreal 4 is not really being widely used right now, Zero. The first major Unreal 4 game is going to be their remake of Unreal Tournament.
Yeah, and that
we're
I mean,
all looking forward to.
The point that Mike was making, I think that, or how much of you thinks that the processing power stunted the growth of developing that kind of engine.
I think it was massive, especially for companies that have to make a PC port of a game.
Right.
Because, and I know that you're probably going to roll your eyes at me, Ranger, but one of the reasons I think we're seeing stuff like this on consoles now is because they don't have to basically make almost two separate versions of the game, one that can run on the 360 and one that the PC can handle without PC players wanting to murder them.
I wouldn't roll my eyes at that. I think that the new generation of consoles has its own right to stand on now. And I think that it's probably very much appreciated by developers that they can now step outside of where they used to be restricted.
I think the time that we're really going to see what the new consoles, at least the PlayStation 4, can do from everything I've seen is... No, actually not the Division, is the new Uncharted.
Oh, I don't know. I lost my taste for Uncharted.
I don't have a taste for Uncharted as a game series, but if you watch the gameplay demo that they did at the Sony conference at the end of last year, it is ridiculous.
I'll have to go back and look.
To address Zero's thing about the character, it was just, to me, it's just like somebody's complaining about, or like talking about like horrible things they've seen, and he just tosses off like a juvenile one-liner.
Well, but also there are parts of the game that I will not spoil because they're really, if you knew it was coming, it would be a total ruiner for the moment. But
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Dumbledore dies.
Dumbledore dies.
Spoilers. But there are parts of the game where I know, and I'm not exactly the most ladylike person, but when I saw him react to this specific event that happened, I knew that I would do the exact same thing.
See, to me, that almost makes it worse because that means his character writing is inconsistent.
Well, maybe for how you
Unless
take
he has
the
character growth
route to start. There's a bit, but I say a bit, saying like not too much.
Well, I think Dying Light's a very interesting game.
It's a good game.
Can I be honest?
Makes me feel seasick.
Can I be completely honest? I played this at Eurogamer 2013. It left me completely cold then, and I have zero interest in playing it now. Just to be completely different from everybody here.
I don't care about it.
No. I personally don't have an interest in playing it. It's just interesting how they use like the tricks to make this work without loading and without doing what Armor does and absolutely ruining frame rate for freedom of play.
I will say the thing that really impresses me the most about Dying Light is the scale of the world that they have there, but not just that, the smoothness of the interaction they've managed to create with the parkour on everything. So that's a pretty interesting step for a game like this, because even if you think about like Mirror's Edge, like a lot of people love Mirror's Edge, but if you think about it, you were pretty restricted in Mirror's Edge in a lot of ways. It was all about maximizing the route available to you, the keyword there being available, because the devs had carefully limited you.
Yeah, it was a linear path. They knew exactly where they wanted you to go.
Yeah, I sense that Dime wants to wrap up Dying Light, and that's fine, but I wanna leave it with the statement of it's not your average zombie survival game.
I will definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
And Ranger,
It looks fun to swing around, but it's making me feel sick.
That's Shelby's problem with it. I look forward to you putting out some videos on it, Ranger, because I'm probably not going to play it, but I would be interested in seeing more of it. So
yeah, I was going to do an impressions, and then I don't think I was going to do a let's play, but if there's interest in it, I might do.
I wouldn't mind, just if you put up some random videos of it.
I will be honest though, I am quite tempted to get it for Scarlet Dragon.
She'd probably enjoy it.
She would love it.
Yeah.
So
have her play a demo first.
Ranger is might right. Do. I do kind of want to wrap.
Don't waste money on a game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Because
I will get Scarlet too.
Did spend a good amount of time on Dying Light, which I think is good because it's a big game and there's been a lot of
it's warranted.
There's been a lot of discussion about it both ways. So let's talk about. Well, Nico, you did give me a video link. Bless you.
Yes.
So
I've been putting him in thing.
Let's talk about Nico's
gaming things you might not have played.
Well.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to interrupt me. That's okay. I'm used to being interrupted. Today we're going to talk about Pokemon Trading Card Game 1. There's a second one for the Game Boy Color, but the first one's for the Game Boy. And we all know what the Game Boy is, the brick console. You young kids, I met some kids that didn't know what a Game Boy was. I was disgusted.
Wait, these are legit games. They're not ROMs. Like ROM hacks. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Pokemon Trading Card Game. Well, the second one is in Japanese, so someone did have to ROM hack to actually, translate it. But yeah. The first game is on the Virtual Console though, which this game was fucking rare, like all Nintendo games are. Anyway, it's as you think it is. It's a trading card game on the video game console, so you don't have to buy the cards to actually try the game out. And that's exactly what got me into the Pokemon trading card game to begin with.
Fucking system updates, sorry.
At least you can do them and stream at the same time.
Yeah. What's great is that this game does have a bit of dynamic. They have animations for the attacks. They teach you how to play the very overly complicated gameplay style. And, well, it has a story. As you do. Just... The evil bad guys want to steal these cards because they have a power to rule the world or something.
Because playing cards to rule the world, yeah. I like it.
And then
story, bro.
Yeah, and the cards choose you to save them, guys.
So we don't choose them; they choose us now.
Yes.
Do they
Oh
tell
my
you?
god!
Do they also
How-
tell you to believe in the heart of the cards?
How meta?
Yes.
Always
Yes.
believe in the heart of the cards.
Look at Lone. So, and there's 2 of these games. Did the series die after that?
Yeah, well, they did the online trading card game. That's also free if you guys want to try it.
Wait,
It's all.
is that what the Pokemon Club is constantly sending me emails about ever since I signed up to get my early demo of Omega Ruby?
Yeah, that's the website for the online game.
Oh god.
It is free, though you have to pay for Pokemon cards to actually get packs, more packs for it. So you get 1 card pack, then you get an online card pack, which I guess is kind of fair, but yeah, you can get cards normally from battles.
I mean,
Typing.
the Pokemon trading card game was always sort of interesting. I think it's either that or Magic, although Magic is probably the even more nerdy thing.
Yeah. To be honest, I feel like this is the only good card game out there next to Magic and Hearthstone. Hearthstone did its own thing, but it still kind of derives a little bit in Magic, but not so much. So
We've lost.
It certainly
Good
tips
guy.
his hat at Magic.
yeah. So if you want to
Savannah.
try something that's only $6, play it. I know this wasn't the most interesting game for everyone, but it's a game that I hold very dearly because it's a pretty dang good game.
I'm actually fairly interested in trying it. I'm waiting on my 3DS because I'm assuming it's the 3DS Virtual Console.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on it to finish its stupid system update so I can look. So
I'm waiting for the 13th, so my new 3DS is coming.
I think we'll skip the card that said Mike and Dime are nerds. Pass it on.
I think we just did that.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about this last little bit of utter idiocy. So I saw this. I saw this story.
Welcome to human stupidity at its maximum.
So let's just go ahead and tell everybody what it is before we get started into talking about it. And the card title for this is not opinionated at all.
No, totally not. Totally not. I mean, how can you...
So
Can you explain it? Because I didn't get a chance to read the article.
Yeah, so
please.
what happened is, we all know that League of Legends and Dota are really big in esports. So what happened was Meet Your Makers, which is a German league team. They have recently.
Don't blame it on me.
I'm not. I don't think they can read that, so we'll just go back. They have recently released their manager, Sebastian Rotterdam. Basically because he's a scumbag, but
Rotterdam was always a scumbag.
So he's been immediately released because apparently one of the players, Corey, indicated his desire to leave the team. And in a private meeting, Rotterdam threatened him. Basically said, if you leave the team, then I'll make sure your mother loses her house. And this kid is just a teenager. I think, is that the sanitarium right up?
It's a video game, people.
So...
But he's
in
making
this
money
case,
off it.
it's about a job, essentially.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
he's...
esports is a job right now, just like this is a job for us.
So
But
he's-
you're allowed to not have a job if you don't want it.
Yeah, no, totally.
Obviously, that's
But
why
he's supposed to-
it's such a problem.
So he's been fired, and it's very interesting because of the way the team handled it. Tells you a little bit about what the CEO knew, already, and the internal dynamics. Because there was another high up team member or team staff member in the room with them as well. It was what was his name? Mike Demir.
Corey.
No, not Corey.
Demir?
Dedick. He was Nestlake. He was in the room with him, and they have when this happened, and they have chosen not to release him, and that tells you a lot because it tells you that they knew that he felt intimidated by a higher up as well, which the Daily Dot did point that out. But it tells you that the CEO also was kind of knew how shady this whole thing was.
Yeah.
I wonder if he had been intimidating players for a while, and because this one was the one that went public, they finally had a good reason to fire him.
That's my read on it, but they admitted that they have made some poor business management decisions in the past, and it makes me wonder what else is going to come out about Meet Your Maker.
It's slowly becoming a Spanish soap opera.
Well, the thing that really bugs me about this is if you think about sports, any kind of sports that's long established for us in America, football or particularly baseball, as old as it is, and for you guys, Lone and Mike, soccer / real football,
Soccer.
Or rugby.
or rugby. But if you think back about how long those sports have been around, back when they were first getting started, there was a lot of shady shit that went on as well. And I think
Oh, no, not at all over here.
Mike, please stop
Stiff
that. You're giving me a headache. Mike was. I keep seeing Mike's camera zoom in and out.
Your camera, it got a mind of its own, and it was
Yeah,
zooming
it does.
in and out a little bit.
He looks so
What?
baffled.
It's been frame snapping you in and out of. Anyways,
I don't understand.
okay, so you're not doing it on purpose. But I think we're seeing like the equivalent at the start of esports, because it really is just legit starting to grow. And if you think about it, like how many regulatory agencies are there really in place? I mean, StarCraft 2, not a fair comparison, because StarCraft 2 is basically on lockdown.
Can I just say that some places now actually stream on their TVs the live sports events for LOL and games like that?
LOL is
And Hearthstone.
Lone, I know what you want to talk about, so go ahead about the other stupid thing that they did this last week.
What, you mean League of Legends?
Yeah.
Well, it's not actually League of Legends, but I blame League of Legends, namely I blame Riot Games for allowing their game to be used in such a shitty way. Now, okay, I understand that being gay in some countries is illegal, a sin, and other things like this. I'm going to get on my high horse here very quickly, but when a country bans LGBT people from their esports tournaments and then relents and lets one person per team be LGBT,
Isn't it Vietnam
I think-
that's that?
They obviously they've changed their tack now and have completely rescinded this. But I have a problem not with the country, not with the company running the esports. I have a problem with any game company who allows their game to be used in such a way.
Well, see,
They
Why
don't
is
have a
Riot Games
choice,
letting their game be
though.
used in such a
But see,
way?
the thing with
They
Riot
don't have a
is,
choice.
and this is kind of the problem that I have with League, and it's one of the things that Blizzard does right with StarCraft in Korea. Riot, the game company, and Riot, the company running esports for LoL, are inextricably intertwined. You cannot separate the two, and that's a massive conflict of interest and a massive problem.
Yeah.
I am not going to be surprised if Smite starts having the same problem, because Hi-Rez is in control of everything. The smartest thing Blizzard ever did was turn the tournament community over to the Korean GSL authorities and just make the bloody game.
Well, I don't
However-
understand.
I mean,
what-
the problem with that is that most other games that are played in like esports kind of way don't really have that GSL available to them. I mean, GSL was a thing before Blizzard even did that. They could just go to them. They had an established standard already, and so they could go there and they know this thing is already standardized in a way. They're already running it, even though we're not involved in it. So they are handing it over to them.
Yeah.
But look at League of Legends. They don't really have that.
Neither does
Look
Dota.
at Look at Dota. They don't have that. Look at Smite. They don't have that. The thing is, StarCraft is sort of the grandfather of esports. So
Get off
But,
my
you know,
lawn.
For
Can
all
I-
of Blizzard's faults, though, if it was being picked up in, let's say, South Korea, where it's really big, I can see, because Blizzard are quite up to date, they're quite open. If a game company who was streaming their esports put those sort of restrictions in, Blizzard would crack down on it and not allow them to use their game.
No, they wouldn't. It's already happened. There was a
Yeah.
Really?
There was a tournament this last year for StarCraft. Mike, was it Denmark or Norway where they wouldn't allow a female player?
Yep, and they said it was because they'd feel
Don't
overwhelmed and some other bullshit from all the boys being around them. Then now they're saying they're going to split boys and girl tournaments because the women can't play better than the guys. That's exactly what they're saying.
Blizzard didn't do anything. It got straightened out. But and you know what's ridiculous about that? One of the best Zerg players on the planet, Mike Scarlet, is a girl, and she is in. If you ever see Scarlet. If you ever see Scarlet interact with the other players, one, they respect her. Two, there's a few of them, like Life, that are intimidated by her. And
with a name like
nobody
Scarlet,
cares that she's a girl.
So,
I'm just gonna say, like, especially in terms of esports,
I thought it was trans and not LGBT.
There's like no reason to do any of this.
Actually,
you're right.
Zero brings this up, and I think it's a good point in the overarching discussion. Hi-Rez, they have been listening to the community a lot, but they did just fuck up badly this last week. There was a player that basically got auto-banned. I think it might be a perma-ban for the account, too, unless it's been rescinded, because they pissed off a Hi-Rez streamer. And the Hi-Rez streamer, instead of going through the proper reporting procedures that are in the game, just basically dropped an email to the ban confirmation team.
Wow.
So I think the overarching discussion here is that there's a lot that esports can learn from the way that GSL, and I noticed I didn't say Blizzard, from the way GSL handles things, because if they don't, it's going to be really ugly, because this, like we've seen with Hi-Rez, like we've seen with Dota, like we've seen with League, and that stupidity with StarCraft last year, it's not going to be the first, and it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. The thing I want to add to that, the thing about GSL is it's very much established. It's something that, like, Korea has like, it is super established. It is something that is socially acceptable and even promoted to do in Korea. Mm-hmm. And thus GSL has sort of a higher level of authority and also responsibility in terms of that stuff. So they're going at it in a little bit of a different light because of the responsibilities they have in that esports scene.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that I didn't zone at the wrong times. Are we talking about esports and people of the female gender being allowed to play?
We're talking about all of
that stuff.
All of that stuff. All of that.
Okay, so like I don't understand how there aren't just gamers and it doesn't matter what gender you are. You're either good or not good at game.
The problem is, Ranger, and it's still a problem over here as well. Luckily, we live in a society where you and I can play a game together. However, even over here, and this is why Gamergate blew up so badly as well. I know Dime hates that hashtag full stop, and it's the only time I mention it. But the problem is, even over here and in America, there is still a problem with dickhead 13-year-old boys who think they're all that, causing shit to girls.
Yep.
I laugh at them.
Whereas
just to clarify,
I will play a game with you, and I know you will easily kick my ass in some things, and I will kick your ass in others, and we'll be equal in other things.
Me and them were just playing Evolve, and I might not be the best one with my gun, but I had 3 times the global average with my shield. I was the fucking best support player you ever
see. There you go. Zero Cross proving the point by proving the point. Stupid little things that 13-year-old boys say, like women's hands are too small, they can't game at the same level. Shit like it's.
Let's put
we're just faster at moving our fingers between the buttons. Deal with it, motherfucker.
And let's also, in Zero's defense, we all know Zero. Zero is literally saying that to be a silly troll, but people say that seriously.
He's saying the sorts of things that 13-year-old boys.
No, I love when people try to troll me. But they're younger, and it's because I'm
the problem, as far as I can see, is not like that they are 13-year-olds. It's a problem that they're 13-year-olds, and they think that
action is
reasonable. Okay. That is a reasonable and good thing to say.
Yeah.
Let's admit it.
It doesn't come from the gaming environment. It comes way earlier than that.
Education.
Well,
It,
it's a
it sort of
society
soaks in
thing.
from
It's because
every
you have-
direction.
You have this anonymity online.
Yeah.
You're never going to actually see that kid. Or even if you do, you're not going to know it's him.
And
So,
And if I do,
9
I
out
have
of 10
a light
times,
pipeline.
I reckon that 13-year-old boy is the one that gets bullied at school.
Yep.
probably, because they have to bully somebody back to
Yeah.
make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
And you have to pick on the girl that's in the minority in the gaming community, or you think they're in the minority when really we're
Especially if
probably
it's
not.
especially if it's the
Actually-
girls that bully you at school, Ranger.
I think it's a higher percentage women who play games now than men right now.
No.
It's because we have jobs and we're making money and we can buy our own shit. Fuck you.
Oh fuck!
Snaps!
Oh, the hooker.
Boom.
Snaps! Oh, we could vote
Well-
too.
Oh.
Well, I think
They dropped the ovary bomb.
Hold on. I just
think-
want to throw
I'm just
something
gonna
up
throw
for
my
everybody.
ovaries at the screen.
I want to
Sure.
throw something up for everybody because of what Ranger just said about the anonymity, and I will link you guys the image. It is, and I know not everybody here is a Penny Arcade fan
I
like
know
I
that
am,
one.
but
I know that one.
You know, the big
Can
problem
you
is,
link
is
it so I
that
could see it?
Mhm.
the bad thing about Gamergaters is that these kids can find your address and then put it online for everybody to see, and that scares the shit out of so many people.
Yeah, but on the flip
It
side
really
as well,
does.
that kid today who's getting 5 years in jail for swatting.
Yeah.
Well, like the other thing is like I could I would say that I probably have thick skin when it comes to online gaming and being trolled by children and men.
well, no shit. You talked to Zero
but-
Cross.
I love
Oh!
Zero. Zero was hilarious.
Wait,
Zero's
which one is Zero?
But also, Ranger, we don't hold that
Zero's
against
a
you.
troll.
You get a cream from the
But-
doctor.
like maybe it shouldn't be that way, but like I'll share a story with you that I don't share, and we're gonna do it publicly over the internet. So fuck whoever this person was. I can't remember who you were.
Wait,
Sorry.
so Ranger just
But-
said normal person plus anonymity plus audience
Plus-
equals total
and then
dick
total
wad.
dick word, yeah. So there was I was playing Call of Duty on Xbox Live. Gasp.
Well, we already know that people are giving you hell because you're a grill on Xbox Live.
Yeah, that just it was hell on this. But one thing stood out.
The bad thing about that is
somebody
you're playing
found
Modern
out.
Warfare.
No, well, it was what was it? I think it was Modern Warfare 2. It was like back in the day. But
What the hell?
And then I learned that there was a party chat. So fuck you to everyone. But I was playing, minding my own business, playing, and I think I said one thing, like it was totally silent for the match, normal call outs like you would expect, and I made a call out. God forbid a female knows where the fucking enemy is. And I made a call out and somebody was like, whoa, wait a second, are you a girl? And then all of a sudden it was a fucking rage match. Like everybody was talking all the time. It was like all this shit that you hear guys say all the time, right? Let me get a picture of your boobs, all this other bullshit, right?
Well, your bobs
And,
according to Zero.
Yeah. And but the one of the people that was in the match sent me a message, and I should have known better than to open the message. I should have known better because the title of the message was, "Hey baby, what do you think?"
Was it
Oh.
really?
It was.
Wow.
It was.
Was it 2 inches of disappointment?
It was, yes, 2 inches of disappointment.
So,
And it wasn't like it was just like a flash. It was as if he had been working on it for a while, if you get what I mean.
Hence the disappointment part of that 2 inches.
Yeah. And
so the
he-
GIF that's up right now is Ranger's reaction if she ever meets this person in real life.
yeah, well, no,
What, the 2
I
inches
could
of
get less of a
disappointment?
shit. I could get less of a shit because my skin by then had already been thickened. And so he sent that message. I deleted it. I didn't report him. I guess I could have.
You should
I
have.
deleted
Should
it.
have.
You should
Yeah.
have.
I deleted it and I said, sorry, not impressed.
That is actually an insta ban according to Microsoft for that sort of shit.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
didn't know that back then. Like I just dealt with it.
I
You know
what's really
remember.
What's the funniest one
thing
I've
is,
actually seen was a guy playing the game and letting his girlfriend talk on the headset whilst he was playing, and he was awesome at it, and she was scrubbing them out and telling them how much of a noob they were.
Oh, I don't know. I quite enjoy some of the shit that I hear coming from the living room when Shelby is going like 18-0 in Gears 3 multiplayer.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
there's
because your wife
a-
is a machine at gaming.
About the dick pics.
Also, she's Shelby.
It shows you what's wrong with society when a comedian says how many dick pics does women get, and the entire room filled with hands raised.
Okay.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
Well,
but then again, on the
listen-
flip side, 50 Shades of Grey.
Listen, guys, I know you're proud of your donger, but sometimes showing it off is like flinging a staff around. You kind of wear it off after a
You
while.
say Bonner. Really?
I said donger. Read
Well-
your dongers.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, the thing that makes me sad, okay? The thing that makes me sad is that every girl gamer is not like me, and they don't have that thick skin, and a lot of people can get
Yeah.
intimidated. I know so many girl
They
gamers
have
that do
beautiful,
not.
delicate female skin.
They do not. No, shut up. Fuck you. They do not. Like, they don't have the same confidence level that I do. And I know female gamers that do not use a mic. I've sat in games like back in Call of Duty and other games where I was the first woman to talk, right? But then after I started talking, at least 3 or 4 other people on my squad
We're girls.
were girls. And the one guy left in the squad left. So, like, we can be intimidating too, ladies.
So-
Oh no,
Did you-
it's too many
Ranger,
women. It's
like-
so
Did you
scary.
see the Skype thing?
let me-
Too much estrogen.
Ranger, Skype. Look.
And women are scary. I just wanted to say that.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
just, yeah, that's pretty much Shelby in a nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the thing. Like, it's not only in games. It's everywhere. And like, how do you deal with that? How do you manage to get rid of
Right.
that shit?
Okay, from another point of view, and this is something that I've been looking at for quite a while, because I've actually been thinking about writing an article about it. But there is a problem in society right now, and the problem is media.
Yeah.
Mainstream media gives us such backward ass impressions of various different things, and they just get shit wrong. At the point where we have celebrity Big Brother on one side, and then we have Gamergate going the other side, we have feminism and feminazism and all of the.
Well, the problem is period extremists. Why can't
Yeah.
people just calm the fuck down?
Yeah.
It's either one side or the other side, and you're either this side or you're that side. There's
Yeah.
nobody that, like, or those are the only things that you hear. The things that you hear are all the way this way or all the way that way. The people who are normal and raised by good parents like me, who don't see gender, sexual orientation, religion, any of that shit, you're just a person.
But
And I'll judge you based on your actions, but
Ranger, that's part of the problem because you weren't raised by Fox TV, Comedy Central, and your Xbox.
no,
Just-
not until I was 20.
And this is why, and I'm so scared for the females in my generation because we have movies like Twilight where a guy stalks you and that's romantic, or
Don't you
or
even
50
talk about... No, we are not
No.
mentioning that movie on this show. I'm putting my foot down on that.
All right, I'm just telling you that there are a lot of bad influences to women. There's a lot of bad influences to men because it makes them think this is okay and romantic. It's depressing, it's scary, and this is why I have social anxiety.
It's not just that, Neko, and I know I
It's-
mentioned
yeah.
this on Opposing Views, but it's also some of the gamer websites as well, that on one page will have, oh my god, we've got problems with this sort of thing, and then literally in the side it's got, let's see Jessica Nigri. So that Opposing Views episode
comes-
time.
Well,
It comes back to like it. Yeah, pretty much. Sorry, I'm gonna add one more thing and then I think we can wrap up.
We'll get back together probably, I don't know, guys, next week, I guess, off air and record this episode of Opposing Views because I think we're gonna have a good one out of it. Ranger?
Yeah.
I better be in it or else I'm gonna eat
I'll
your
find
throat.
time. I'll try and find some time. You gotta let me know time.
The dragon
I-
has opposing views.
You just let me know because of other stuff's going on, but we'll find a time.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is like this is like the problem is all those inputs coming from everywhere. It's like this ground level noise of bullcrap that you soak up as being normal. And if you don't have like a view on it and realize it's bullcrap, you're gonna just exhale the same bullshit out again and infect other people with it. And this is like this society entirely does this whole process over and over again. I'm like,
Well, there's a I guess I could share this with you guys later, but there was a video that I first spotted on Facebook, but it was a video of adult people and presumably they're children, but they're probably actors, but you know. And it's the parent and the child doing the exact same thing. So like either they're mad at somebody or they're raging at somebody in traffic. So it has the parent and the child doing the exact same thing. Yeah. So it's like, you know, you're rubbing off on your kids even when you don't think that you are. So it's like, you know, I thought that was pretty, you know,
It's pretty
big because there was, I mean, there was part of it where there was a guy screaming at his wife and he raises his hand to hit her. And then you see the kid do it right next to him.
It's
So-
yeah.
It's definitely learned behavior. It definitely rubs off. There's a lot that goes into all that.
Yeah.
It's and a lot of it's just sheer
Okay.
horrible stuff. So
How
let's
about-
go
how
ahead
about-
and wrap the show before we get going even more, because I do want to save some stuff for opposing views because we're going to get a good show out of it. So
And we need to let Scarlet Dragon weigh in as well.
and
I'm gonna
we
cry.
need to get back to playing Evolve.
Well, I have
Elite.
to go do stuff,
The
but
stuffs.
maybe I'll come back later.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll probably hop into Elite then because we need to Mike, we need to go to Yembo system because that's where the community event for building the new space station is.
That's where I'm coming to.
Oh.
It was Yembo.
Yep, I'll be on my
Yembo.
way there as well. Ranger, if you do play
Yembo,
Elite
Yembo.
later, head for that system
Look
because
for Yembo.
yep, the new patch is out. So guys,
Oh, I haven't.
thanks
thought about
everybody
that.
for being here tonight. Really good show.
I might actually stream this, by the way, Don.
Awesome. I especially enjoyed the Dying Light discussion. Like Ranger, thank you very much for that because you're the only one that's played it. Next show,
Well, I have played it.
extensively.
No,
I
yeah.
played it extensively. I'm 48% through the story, and I played it extensively.
Question.
Called
Just
longevity.
Last question before we go. How many hours is 48%? Give or take.
I played it. Oh, fuck. When did it release? Last week?
Yeah.
I played it. Oh, it released only last week. Okay, so I didn't get it until Wednesday. I played solid Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know, at least 10 hours?
Well, you did better on its release date than you did on Evolve, you derp. You screwed up on Evolve so bad.
Yeah, no, I fucked up. I decided to leave work early for the Evolve release, and Evolve released today, not last Tuesday.
Oh, you're so full of win.
So, all right, guys. Next show, February 24th. So everybody gets Valentine's Day off.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
work harder. How's that for opposing views?
All right, guys. So everybody, thanks for being here tonight. Nico going to take us out. Nico Kit Wolves.
Welcome to the. Sorry, thank you for joining us for this very sexy, beautiful podcast. I fucked up. The next episode will be on Sheba Comeback.
Look at
Why you gotta
Sheba.
be so unromantic?
She was like, "You done fucked up. I'm laying down."
Sheba's
ruined
just
the
like, I'm
moment.
done with this. I'm fucking done with this.
The next
She was like,
episode's gonna
"I
be
love
at
you."
the 24th of February.
24th of
That's
something.
Up again.
I can't give people boners, okay? I'm fat and ugly. Like, look at this face.
Oh my
Look
god,
at this
shut up,
face.
Neko.
All right.
I've got an internet boner.
Oh god.
We'll see you on the 24th.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my dear sweet Jesus.
I'm adorable.
You asked for this time.
I'm
You
gonna-
asked for it.
It's like 20 feet to the ground. I'll go ahead and jump out the window now. With any luck, I'll land on my head.